everyone. ओम श्री गणेशाय नमः। ओम श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। ओम समस्त जन कल्याणे निरतं करुणामयम् नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। ओम सदाशिवसमारंभां शंकराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। शंकरं शंकराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम् शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। So friends, yesterday we saw a very important shlokas that even though the Atman is all pervading, but its Upalabdhi Sthanam, where we can realize it, Buddhav, in the Buddhi, Avabhaseta Swacheshu Pratibimbavat. So like in a transparent surface, like any mirror you take, for example, or a crystal clear water, the reflection is so beautifully formed. Similarly, in the Buddhi, this Atma Chaitanyam reflects. So we have to recognize that Atman in Buddhi Guhayam, it has to be realized. So Bhagavan Shankaracharya says again, this Atman, Vilakshanam, totally different. Vilakshanam is quite not, it is not even opposite, but completely different. If you say opposite, then opposite counter. No, it's a completely different. Atma Vilakshanam. Different from what? Deha Indriya Manobuddhi Prakritibhyo Vilakshanam. It is different, totally different from body, mind, intellect, and sense organs, etc. This all forms Prakriti. So completely different from Prakriti. Tad Vritti Sakshanam Vidyat. Now, how to know that? You have to know that Atman as the witness consciousness. Sakshi Chaitanya. Witness consciousness. So that's how we should know this Atman. So this is a abhyasa. That I am the witness of everything. Manovrittis, the thoughts in the mind. So it's every day you can practice. Detach yourself from the mind and just observe the mind. This is the sadhana which has been given by all the great Mahatmas. By standing apart and observing the mind and its thoughts, various eruptions, without being involved in it. That abhyasa will slowly make the Atman, the I, Shuddha I, distinct from what is perceived, what is seen, what is noticed. So everything else is changing, and the witness is Sakshi, Kevalaha, and he doesn't change. So this is the sadhana, at least 5 minutes, 1 minute a day to begin with. Sometimes just sit quietly, just observe your own mind. And many Mahatmas have said observing the mind is a great entertainment without involving in the mind's process. If one can observe the mind, it is a great entertainment. All the time we may not, because we are not so perfect, we are pulled into the mind stream. So, but wherever possibility is there, jump back, stand apart, and watch. And it is not possible when, because for us, for our type of when sorrow is too much, and sorrow overpowers us, either physical, mental sorrow, then I will not be able to detach myself. But to the extent, to wherever it is possible for me, start practicing it. Then it will be slowly extended to other fields also. So, drushyate abreshu davatsu dhavanivayata. No, sorry, this is the vidyad atmanam rajavat sada. Tadvritti sakshanam atmanam rajavat sada. Like a king. In the presence of king, all activities are undertaken. Similarly, in the presence of Atman, all the Prakriti, according to their own dharmas, the body, mind, intellect, etc., it works. So far we have seen those beautiful thoughts. And 19th verse. Vyapruteśvindriyeshvatma vyapari va vivekinam drishyate bhreshu davatsu dhavan nivajatha shashi. Vyapruteśvindriyeshvatma vyapari va vivekinam drishyate bhreshu dhavatsu dhavan nivayatha shashi. Now see, I told you almost every sloka we have example. That's the beauty of Atma Bodha. And you may think that almost all verses are similar, but not similar. It's like center of the circle is there, its center is there. So from the circumference of circle, how many radii can be drawn? Infinity. So from one point, from this point, one radii you can draw radius, and then it can go up to center. You can travel through radius, through that line, reach the center, or some other point, reach the center. Similarly, the center, the within, is approached from different angles, so that the Siddhanta, the principle, what is to be understood, it becomes deeply rooted in us. And once it gets rooted in us, so any thought you can take, any shloka you can take in this for contemplation one day. Like for example, you can meditate. There are 68 slokas also in Atma Bodha. So suppose 68 slokas are there in Atma Bodha. 68 meditations you can do. 68 methods of meditation are given here. So each day, one shloka you can keep it with the meaning, of course, if you don't know Sanskrit directly. Close your eyes and think on that. Mananam. And afterwards, Nididhyasana. That way, if you investigate, because great teachers say, mind wants variety even in meditation. So, in our Sandipani, we studied 2 years course, and the day we landed there, next day morning onwards, meditation started. No relaxation, no rest, no theory, nothing. And everyone should be present for all classes. It's not an option. No holidays for 2 years. So the next day morning, 5:30 to 6 every day is a meditation time. And 5:25, we should be there in the temple, spread our asana, and wait for teacher. He also would come around the same time, make adjustment, etc. So 5:30 to 6. And every day, he would give one thought to pursue in meditation for that day. We are amazed to see how many meditation techniques are given to us. Any one Gita shloka, one Upanishad mantra, a bit of it. So he says, every day a new venture, new inspiration for the mind to pursue a path or pursue a method of meditation. So similarly, you can take 68 verses or 68 meditations. Maximum meditations you can take from this. Now in this sloka, he says, Vyapruteshu. Vyapruteshu means functioning. Vyapara. What is that? Indriyeshu, Vyapruteshu Indriyeshu. So in all these sense organs, both Jnanendriyas, organs of action and perception, and organs of action, Karmendriyas, Vyapruteshu Indriyeshu, in all these activities, all of them are acting. But earlier what was said was vrittis. The vritti is now called as vyapara, vyapruteshu. So there is nothing, no difference. Earlier it was called vrittis, now vyapara. Even vyaparas are functions, you can say, or transactions, you can say. Vyapruteshu indriyeshu atma. So in all this, like what is that now? Buddhi is busy in activity, in thinking, judging, all those things. Kartrutva bhava, yojana, all. Mind, of course, is always active, restless. And eyes are seeing, nose is smelling, open, ears are open to the sounds. So all the sense organs are also dynamically working. Prana Shakti is, Prana Kriyas are functioning. And body also, of course, we know. Indriyas are working through physical body. There are movements in the body. So everything, if you see, for example, all our equipment is very, very dynamic from birth to death. They don't keep quiet. Prana cannot keep quiet. Breathing cannot keep quiet. They have sense organs are not contained, except in deep sleep state. Sense organs may withdraw, mind may withdraw, but prana kriyas are also going on even in deep sleep state. Is going on. Mental activity and intellectual activity, physical activity is absent in deep sleep state, but pranas are active so that they can support the function of the body. So in all this vyapa, so when you really think about it, it is like a constantly pulsating. In waking plane, if you see, everything is pulsating in its own way, zigzag motion. It is like a, if you perhaps you can see, imagine, I'm just giving an example. Stand above in the space and watch down a busy marketplace. Busy market. So in that busy market, each one is in their own, lost in their own thoughts and for pursuing their own objects, searching for their own objects, hunting for their own objects. So all activities are going on. From above, you see, there are about 500, 600 people, say, for example, in a vegetable market or so. And, see the activity sellers are there. And then the cycle fellows are there, rickshaw fellows are there. People are purchasing, bargaining. And, so much of activity is going on from above, if you see. Similarly, from above Atman, when we see, all these are all actually actively going on. Many, many activities are going on. But in that, Atma vyapari iva avivekinam drushyate. Avivekinam. To the avivekinam, mandabuddhinam, alpaprajnanam, balanam, murkhanam. We are all murkhas only. Murkha is a fool who misunderstands. So, for alpa buddhi, avivekinam, for all those indiscriminate people, those who don't have viveka buddhi, for them, atma vyapari iva drushyate. So all the activities are going on. But in and through all these activities, what is happening to Atma? Atma is so beautiful. It is just shining in its own place. It is nishkriyaha. No action is taking place. Naiva kinchit karomi. And Bhagavan Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita, neither the Atma does nor it makes others do. Na karayati. Na kurute na karayate. No, there is neither Atma acts nor it prompts other things to act, other ones to act. No. It is existing, that's it. But when all these are very active, I superimpose all these activities on Atma. So I superimpose all these activities on Atma means what? I think Atma is seeing, Atma is thinking, Atma is working, Atma is walking, Atma is talking. In fact, Atman is doing nothing. It is, but inside, it is, full stop. But all these activities which are going on from the buddhi, mind and indriyas and prana, sharira, etc., deha, indriya, mano, buddhi, all these activities, sense organs, are superimposed on Atma. Then what will happen to superimpose in Atman? We mistake that Atman is working, Atman is seeing, Atman is smelling, Atman is touching, Atman is tasting, Atman is walking, Atman is acting, working with hands, etc. What will happen? What will happen is that since we have such kind of a gross error in misunderstanding, whatever is the result of these activities and the tiredness of these instruments, etc., all these things also are superimposed. Result of all these things are also superimposed on me. Then another feeling is that I suffer because thinking that they are all mine, superimposing them to be on me, superimposing them on me. I suffer, I continuously cry, and there is no end for my sorrow because I think when something is happening to mind, it is happening to me. When mind is sukhi, I am sukhi. When mind is dukhi, I am dukhi. When intellect is something, I am saying something. So all those activities when I superimpose on Atman, the problem is called adhyasa. It is a superimposition. And because of that, anyonya adhyasa takes place also. And because of that, I suffer the consequences of this identification. So one thing which we should remember is that Atma is nishkriyaha. Nishkramano brahmano bhavam naishkarmyaha. Sureshwaracharya's beautiful text is there, Naishkarmya Siddhi. Very wonderful state it is. In fact, friends, I'll just take 1 or 2 minutes more on this. If you observe your life, right from your birth, your childhood, if you really focus on yourself, the I, you know that I is constant. Not ego I. Ego I is changing. Ego I is in turbulation, always. But who knows that my ego is suffering, my ego is changing, my moods are changing, my mind is changing. So there is something changeless entity, that is me. So simply Mahatma say that in and through our life, if you can focus your attention on that actionless self, that is me, slowly you will establish that you are that, I am that, or they say, I am that I am. I am that I am means I am that supreme I am. That I am is I am. Not this I am, the ego I am is I am. So for this, how do we superimpose the activities of body, mind, intellect, etc. on Atman? A beautiful example is given and is everybody's experience. Dhavatsu dhavan iva yatha shashi. Very beautiful. You must have seen that clouds and moon, everybody's experience. So there is a clouds are moving. Behind the clouds is a full moon, and the clouds are moving. So as a child, what do we say? We think the moon is moving. So I superimpose the movement of the clouds or activity of the cloud is superimposed on the moon. This is everybody's experience. Our practical example, everybody would go through this, would have gone through in railway station. You go to drop somebody. So you also boarded the train, thinking that time 15 minutes is there. And the train next to it, other track, it moves. When it moves, you get a shock that you feel that your train is moving. So your train is actually stagnant. It is not moving. When you see the drishti on other side, that is on the train side, if you see, because other train on the platform, other track, it is moving. So you feel that your train is moving. How do you confirm? You turn back and see that behind that platform is there. There's no movement on platform. Platform is stagnant. Platform is not going back. I mean, platform doesn't go. The train is, you will know in relation to it. Oh, I think that train is going. Here, this side I saw platform. Platform side, very nice it is. Everything is stationed. So there's no worry. It's not my train. Thank God. Otherwise, I have to jump from the moving train. Then what happened again? The movement of the train is superimposed on this train in which I am. So therefore, Shankaracharya gives dhavatsu dhavaniva yatha what do you call Shashi as a moon appears abreshu in the clouds. So what is this sloka is telling us? We have to think now. Every day for some time. Sit in a chair and then just recognize that you are that actionless spirit. In my presence, everything is acting. I am not acting. Beautiful. So this is how Shankaracharya is leading us slowly into contemplation. Every sloka is a contemplation. So in this, actionless Atman is talked about. Now, another thing so beautiful is given. Another example. Atma chaitanyamashritya dehendriyamanodhiyah swakriyartheshu vartante सूर्यालोकं यथा जनाः आत्मचैतन्यमाश्रित्य देहेन्द्रियमनोधियः स्वक्रियार्थेषु वर्तन्ते सूर्यालोकं यथा जनाः. We saw Atman is Nishkriya, actionless. Now the Atma says, but all these are all acting. Where is that they are getting from energy from? Buddhi is acting, mind is acting, indriyas are functioning. From where these things are all gaining the strength or energy? Because by themselves they are jada padartha. How come they are acting? Drawing from where? The strength. So Atma is Nishkriya, no doubt about it. And Atma is also not Karakatvam. It is not prompting anybody to act also. So these two things. Okay, Atma is not working, but maybe prompting. No, it's not prompting. Yet everything is working. How? He says, Atma Chaitanyam Ashritya. Taking the support of Ashraya, depending upon. Taking that support of Atma Chaitanyam. Atma Chaitanyam, your own self, the consciousness, which is Atman, Atma Chaitanyam, Ashritya, Deha Indriya Manodhiyaha Swakriyartheshu Vartante. So where from this Deha, body, Indriya, sense organs, Manaha, Buddhi, mind, and Duyaha, Buddhi, all these are all drawing energy from to act. So he says, depending on that Atma Chaitanyam alone, these Buddhi, mind, Indriyas, etc., body, etc., are engaged in their respective fields of action. So Atma Chaitanyam Ashritriya Deha Indriya Manodiyaha Swakriyartheshu Vartante. That means what? These Indriyas have to exist first. Who gave that Satta to all the mind, etc., for their existence? Satta Pradhan kisne kiya? Atma, number one. Number two, who gives Chaitanyam to them to work? Atma. So Sat aspect of it, existence of all this, plus Chit, the Chaitanatvam in all this, is actually given by, supplied by Atman. So therefore, there must be Chaitanyam in them. Otherwise, how can they work? All reflected consciousness only. Not the original Atma. The Atman is Nishkriya, but it is reflecting. And that is making all work. So both Sat aspect, existence, and Chit aspect to all these Indriyas are lent by Atman alone. Therefore, without Atma Sanidhyam, proximity, without Atma Sanidhyam, without the proximity of the Atma, none of these are capable of functioning. So Upanishad stories also have come. Many stories are there to indicate that the Atma is not there. Neither Agni works, nor Vayu works. They all had ego. Then that Paramatma came and put a grass there. Uma Haimavati, that grass was there, blade of grass. Agni came, tried to burn, he could not. Vayu tried to blow it off, he could not. All devatas failed. Ultimately, the devatas are faculties. Ultimately, shown that Atma is there, without which none of them have got their energy. So, Agni energy, Agni Deva, Vayu Deva, Varuna Deva, all these devatas have got their energies only because of the blessings of Atman. So, its presence is required for all the activities of Indriyas, etc. Therefore, what is Atman? Srotrasya srotram manaso mano yate vachoha vacham sau pranasya pranaha chakshushas chakshuha atimuchya dhiraha pretyasman lokad amruta bhavanti. Beautiful. Srotrasya srotram manaso mano yade. What is that? It is a srotrasya srotram, ear of the ear, mind of the mind. Then here, vacho havacham sau pranasya prana, the speech of the speech, and prana of prana. Chakshusas chakshu, it is the eye of the eye. Atimuchya, realizing this. Dhiraha atimuchya, wise people having realized this. Pretya asmat lokat, when they depart from this world, meaning from the identification of the body-mind complex, or from the time of leaving the body, they become Videha Mukti, they get. Jivan Mukta only, plus at the time of Tasman Lokat Pretya, cross transcending all the identifications, Amrita Bhavanti, they become immortal. So this example is given now. Swakriyarteshu vartante. Atma Chaitanyam Asritya Deha Indriya Manodhiyaha Swakriyarteshu vartante. So only taking the support of Atma Chaitanyam, all the sense organs are able to function in their respective fields. Clear. Example is given. So Atman is not acting and not making others act. Both. Nor Atman is not acting and also not pushing Karakatvam. Nothing. Example is given. How Surya Alokam Yatha Janaha. Surya Alokam. Alokam means light. Lokam. Dirgha it is Surya, not Surya Loka. Surya Alokam. Surya Alokam. Surya Alokam, the light of the sun. So, light, Surya Alokam, light of the sun is there. The sun rises. And sun rises, that's it. It's the sun rises means sun exists. It's earth revolving, that's okay. So, when sun rises, all the people, they get up and they involve in their respective activities. So, in the presence of sun, S-U-N, all the activities are happening on the globe. Suppose if you are not acting, Surya Narayana is not bothered. If you are not getting up from the bed, he is not bothered. He has no interest whether you work or lazy or sleep. He has no interest. You work hard and get good name and fame to yourself and society and to country and to family. He is not bothered. Surya Narayana is not bothered. Sun is not bothered. The sun just exists. And without the sun, we cannot work. But sun is not directly responsible for my activity. But in the presence of sun alone, I can work. See? So sun is just existing. Sun is not acting. That is clear. And sun is not making others act because sun is not bothered. And in the sun, is everybody working in the same way? No, everybody is working according to their own nature, Prakriti, according to their own occupations, according to their own businesses. Variety of actions takes place. One day, we normally conduct some competition, drawing and painting competition. Yamuna Mission conducts Noida once in a year. A lot of thousands of people participate, children. So various topics are given. So 1 year, we gave this topic for one small group because all city children. So we gave that early morning in a village. And children drew beautifully. Sun is rising, and what kind of activities take place in a village? Somebody going to field, somebody making rangoli, somebody is splashing the water on the ground, somebody taking the calf to their mother, somebody milking the cow, somebody feeding the cattle, somebody taking the cattle to this one, somebody drawing the water from the well, somebody cooking, somebody is blowing air into the through the pipe to lit the fire. So many things are happening, and varieties of activities are so beautifully can be imagined in a small village every day morning. Account birds are flying, chirping early morning. Animals also got up. Maybe dogs running here and there. Imagine that beautiful scene of early morning. I said village because to imagine that village life, it's a very pleasant village, pleasant sight to see that. So all these activities are done as sunrises in the presence of sun. But you cannot hold response. Somebody murdered, son cannot be called to the court as accused number 10 or accused number 1. First of all, had you not risen morning, I would not have got a thought. I would not have seen him. Had I not seen him, I would not have killed him. Why I killed him? Because I saw him. I saw him, therefore I got angry. And I saw him only because of sunrise. So sun also to be called. That's not allowed. You can't invite sun also, first of all. जल के मरोगे. So friends, Surya Alokam Yatha Jana. Similarly, Atman is just existing. There is no Kartrutvam, no Karakatvam. But just it is there. And in its presence, all the dharmas are according to my vasanas, my body is moving, my body according to karma phala, suffering, sukha dukkha is happening. So friends, remember, I just tell you one important point. These great masters have said this very clearly. They said that when you are healthy, then only you can practice all this Sakshi Bhav. So they say, masters say that in a day, whenever you are feeling comfortable with yourself, or small problems are there, not a bigger problem. Jiddu Krishnamurti says, you can observe, he says, observe in a terrific physical pain also, he says you observe. It's not easy, but he says that you should observe. To up to what extent the pain, whatever extent you can bear it, and if you're losing your consciousness because of unable to bear the pain, that time of course you cannot witness consciousness, you cannot maintain. But it says maximum you try to be witness. It's not easy. So what I'm telling is, to the extent possible, like rubber band. Imagine it's a rubber band. Imagine the rubber band it never breaks. It never breaks, but it has its limit, and you have to extend the limit by your practice. By stretching it slowly, you can expand its limit to the infinity. Imagine such a rubber band. But unless you stretch by effort, it won't stretch. So what will you do? Every day, so day point A 1 inch it is able to, it's stretching 1 inch. 1 inch it stopped for today. Okay. Next day try to stretch beyond 1 inch. 1.01. Thus our capacity to witness in spite of unfavorable conditions around us, has to be increased, meaning titiksha, forbearance, has to be increased. So increase the titiksha level. I'm telling it is not easy. I'm telling you. But again, there is titiksha level in you. There is forbearance level is there. It's not that you don't have any forbearance. No, you have forbearance. Titiksha is there. Ability to Sahanashilata, Sahana Shakti. Ability to bear the pinpricks of life, as Gurudev puts it. But if you can stretch it, so to that extent, sadhana can go unhindered. A morning newspaper has not come, I am disturbed. Then what sadhana we can do? Or morning coffee has come, coffee has not come, or doodh has not come, or whatever it is. I could not get my morning coffee on time, therefore I could not pray. That should not be the case. So remember, friends, sadhana is, I am spending time on this. I thought of going second, other sloka also, but I am not going today because it is time of almost 3 minutes only. So what I am stretching is that in life, our titiksha, forbearance. What is titiksha? Sahanam sarvadukhanam apratikara purvakam chinta vilaparahitam sa titiksha nigadyate. Very beautiful verse in Vivek Chudamani. Adi Shankaracharya ji, Sahishnuta. Titiksham Sahishnuta. Sahanashilata. And in Vivek Chudamani defends so beautifully. What is that? Sarvadukhanam sahanam. And life, every one of us has been receiving our own quota of sorrows. I have been receiving, you have been receiving, everybody receives their own quota of sorrows. Right from birth, how many sorrows we have seen? So many. So, Sarva Dukkhanam Sahanam, forbearance, bear. How to bear? Shankaracharya says, Sahanam Sarva Dukkhanam Apratikara Purvakam, without reaction. Pratikara Buddhi or reactions. Why this has happened to me alone? Why this should time it happen? Pratikara Buddhi. And while you are bearing all the pain, there should not be any chinta, worry, vilapa, sorrow. Chinta, vilapa, rahitam. So, apratikara purvakam, no reactions. Don't react to it. Why it is happening to me? Why this time? What did I do it? I can't bear it. So, don't react. It's not easy. It's a practice. Chinta, vilapa, rahitam. Freed from worry and vilapa, sorrow in the mind. Facing life challenges with a smiling face. It's not easy, I'm telling you. But that is a practice which we have to do it. Swamiji, anything I can bear except that sorrow. So God noted down. And He'll precisely give you that sorrow only. What we feel we cannot bear, That alone is given to us as a part of our training. So therefore, very clearly says that we must increase the rubber band, stretch the sahanashilata. Then only I can practice witness attitude. Surya alokam yathajan. Then only I can remain composed in my own self. Like a housewife, 1 minute I will take. Housewife cooks the food. Sometimes she may burn her finger, but she doesn't bother. She will dip it in the water or just put some cloth or whatever it is. She continues to cook. Her mind doesn't go there. She can bear it easily. She bears it. Every mother bears it. It's a daily experience. When everybody goes out, then she removes that cloth band-aid and then attends to it and says and treats her own burning with the Burnol or something. But sorrow, she is able to bear it. Sometimes sleepless nights. She's able to bear it and morning gets up and then cooks food, takes care of family members, husband, children, in-laws. She serves everyone. Afterwards, she may try to sleep. So, unless, how can I be witness when I'm unable to bear? Not that when everything is in order, I can witness. You can't witness at that time. Because you get so fascinated by the beauty of everything in order. So we get entertained in that order. So yatha suryalokam yatha janaha. Just as in the presence of the sunlight, all people activities continue. Similarly, in the presence of myself, Atman, all these activities are going on. But Atma is nishkriyaha. When will I know it? I have to practice witness attitude. When is it possible? I cannot say when everything is proper, I'll witness. No. When everything is improper condition, I must still practice witnessing. For which titiksha I have to increase it. One sadhana, one step I gave you, titiksha. So thus, friends, we have concluded this month series. Next month I will start from 21st verse. Thank you. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om Sadgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai. Samasta Guru Parampara Ki Jai. Thank you. Hari Om. Hari Om. Hari Om.
Hari Om. Thank you so much, Swamiji, for today's session. And thank you to all of you who've been attending these YouTube live sessions for the past 5 days. We would be today concluding this month's talks on Atma Bodh. These would be resuming at a later date in the coming months. So requesting you to subscribe to our YouTube channel and also like our pages on Facebook so that you keep getting updates of when and what programs we are organizing. And as I said before, all the talks for this particular session of Atma Bodh, which took place in the month of September, are being uploaded on the Atma Bodh playlist that you'd find on the YouTube channel. So you can all go there and find all the recorded talks right over there. So thank you so much, Hari Om, and hope you all have a great day ahead.